Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Jan Dyer. I have missed y'all. We haven't been together in quite some time and I have so missed being able to be with y'all. I know everybody was busy. I don't know that you would have needed any suggestions for a meal or anything anyway, but I miss it when we can't get together. But hopefully we're all back on a regular schedule now and it will be awesome. Listen, tonight I am making baked ziti. And we've already got our sausage going. This is actually a pound of spicy Italian sausage, sweet Italian sausage. All you do is cut the casing off of it. We've done that before together, so I know you didn't need me to show you that, but that's all you have to do, and crumble it up. Listen, I used my really nifty meat chopper that got it all broken down. This is it's a little bit of a process, not much, but let me just walk you through it. This is half an onion. So we're gonna put that in our meat, which our meat really is already done. And our oven is preheated to 350. But we put in a half an onion. And then I'm gonna let that brown just a little bit. This is one of those recipes I wish I could say I sat in my grandma's kitchen and she made this. No. But we love it. I mean, who doesn't like a pasta dish anyway? It's kind of a comforting thing. And right now, we all need a little comfort, don't we? So, that's what we're having for dinner. We're having some pasta. Those onions are looking great. I have 4 cloves of garlic that I have minced really well. And I actually used my Pampered Chef food chopper for that too. That just makes it so easy. We're just going to cook this until we can kind of smell that garlic and let it be fragrant, because this is going to have to simmer for 15 minutes. You know, when we've done our other pasta dishes before, our sauce really kind of takes a little time to come together, and that's what this one does as well. So it's going to take 15 minutes. Listen, I'm smelling that garlic. It smells wonderful. Now we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of basil. If you don't have fresh, you can always use your ones out of your pantry, but I had planted thyme. That was 2 teaspoons of thyme, 2 teaspoons of basil. That's just going to take just a second. But anyway, I was saying, it's real easy to grow these herbs, and I've seen lots of people, if you have light in your kitchen, you can actually have a little herb garden in your kitchen. It's just nice to have that addition. Now we're going to put in some red pepper flake, as little or as much as you like. It's just my husband and I. We'll make it nice and spicy. And we need a little bit of salt. Listen, I'm going to go really light on the salt just because I could probably even omit it. I'm not going to put salt even in my pasta just because sometimes these dishes get away from you and they get a little salty, and I'm going to try to avoid that, because we're going to have quite a bit of cheese in it too. Just a little bit of fresh ground black pepper. This is just about to the point we're going to add our tomatoes. And there were whole tomatoes. I've talked about you before about these San Marzano tomatoes. They're from Italy. They're a little more expensive. They are delicious. That's just like Bobby and I have actually had some tomato sauce that was a different brand. It just made everything taste different. So this is my favorite. But it was whole tomatoes. So what I did was ran them through my food processor. Leave them as chunky if you want to, or go ahead and whirl them up pretty good like I did. Now this is going to take 15 minutes to come together, and I will take that time to kind of get everything cleaned up, get our pasta done, and when we come back, we're going to put it all together and then put it in the oven. So to this point, super simple. We've just dropped everything in the pot and we're letting it come together so it'll all taste delicious. And I'll see y'all back here in 15 minutes and we will put our baked ziti together. Okay, welcome back. We're getting ready to put our baked ziti together. Listen, I made a little calculation error. We have twice as much meat as we need. So I've got to, what I do when this is ready is you put in tomato paste. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tomato paste in, and then I'm going to pull out half of this because I can freeze it, use it for another time. But I needed to go ahead and get this tomato paste in. That tomato paste just gives it a really rich color, and it kind of thickens it up a little bit. I already put my garbage bowl in the dishwasher. So let's get this all stirred up. And if you've ever noticed, I think this had basil and something in it. I love to get the pastes that already have a little bit of flavor to them. Look how thick this is getting just by adding that paste. But anyway, it's cooked for 15 minutes. And of course it was already cooked anyway. That's what, you just let it cook together, all those sauces. Just make it so yummy. So, that's our sauce. I think while that's just warming together, let me tell you what all's in here. And I'll tell you what's really in here, except what I put in there. We had to start with a pound of ziti, which I have that ready. And what's really important with the ziti, don't overcook it, because it is going to go in the oven. It's going to go in the oven for 30 minutes. So if you start with a really overdone pasta, it's just going to get kind of mushy. So I'd say back it off a couple of minutes at least on the cook time, and then have it ready to go. We have a pound of mozzarella, and I actually have a pound in this bowl and then a pound over here. I'm going to use half of each. But this is going to be cut in chunks because it's going to get mixed in with the pasta and the sauce in this bowl. Then we have, let me get to my recipe. Just salt and pepper and red pepper flakes, and really that's to your taste. And it called for a half a pound of sweet Italian sausage, half a pound of hot Italian sausage. I told you a pound when we started. So I'm just going to pull out half of this and freeze it. I'll have it for something else. We only put in a half an onion, chopped it up real good, 4 garlic cloves minced really nicely, our San Marzano tomatoes, which we stuck them in the food processor and just whirled them up so that they, you know, aren't just big chunky tomatoes. Listen, I've seen people do it with their hands too, but it's just easier for me to do it in the food processor. We used our tomato sauce, our tomato paste, I'm sorry. Then we had 2 sprigs of fresh thyme and a sprig of basil. So that's all in here. So let me go ahead, pull half of this out. I mean, how nice is that? You know, I had talked to my husband about taking one of these over to our neighbor who's had some family tragedies, but right now we're just not taking stuff to people, you know. I mean, I understand it. I hate it, but we just can't be too careful. So those days will come back. People are getting the shots and everything. We'll get back in the whole swing of things. Okay, so to this, let me turn it off. We're going to add half of this chunked up mozzarella cheese. We're just going to mix it all in this on the stove. That's about half. And then 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese that I grated. And then we're going to put in our pasta, which it did call for a whole pan of pasta. I double checked that. I had this sitting, so I put just a little bit of olive oil on it so I wouldn't have to worry about, hopefully it's sticking together. Tell you what I may do. I'm going to get that in there and get that stirred around, then I'll get the rest of it. This is just an easy meal to do. It just has lots of steps. And you know, I've already done those steps. And I know sometimes that can be a little overwhelming because it looks like there's so much. Get it done before. You know, get it done before. And that way it's just dropping it in the pot, which is really what we've done. And doesn't that look good? Listen, you know, you've also got the pasta water, which I don't have. I poured mine out. But you could always have that if you felt like this was too dry. I think we're going to be just fine though. Let me just put the rest of this pasta in, get this all mixed up. Then we're going to top it with more yummy, delicious cheese. And then put it in the oven. It's going to cook for 30 minutes. And that's just going to let that cheese just get all melty. We've got cheese in here. We're going to put cheese on top. And it is going to be delicious. This also, I think, would freeze well. I'm always worried and concerned about freezing pasta. But if you didn't want to freeze the pasta, you could do like I've done today just because of an error. But it still gives me some good meat sauce to have in the freezer. And another delicious meal on down the road. Okay, so this is a 9x13 casserole dish. We are just going to get this all in here. You know, I thought about doing it in layers. I don't think we need to. Recipe didn't call for it. That would really make it more like lasagna, which really you've got all your lasagna flavors in here anyway. And all mixed up like this, I think you're going to get a delicious taste in every bite. Okay, let me get it to this point. I may be able to pick up that. No, I think I'll do it like this, because I don't think y'all want to see me pour it all over the counter. I can do that. I can do it, and I can do it well. Listen, I hope y'all are staying safe, doing what you're supposed to. We've had some people in our church that have tested positive, so we've been praying for them and checking in with them. And my husband had to be tested this week because of one of his volunteers tested positive. So, you know, we just do what they tell us to do, because nobody really knows everything about this virus. So stay safe. Stay home if you have to. Just listen. There's a treat for Marley. Okay, what I'm going to do on the top, this calls for putting sliced mozzarella. So that's what I've got here. Let me just layer this on. And then I've also got a little Parmesan to put on top of it too. But remember, this isn't all the cheese that's in it. We've got all those chunks of cheese, and then we've got 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan in this pasta also. I'm only saying that because these seem a little bit thin, but it's plenty of cheese. It's going to be delicious. Okay, I'm going to take in my food processor. I love my food processor. It does a lot of hard work for me, saves me some time. Okay, this is what we're going to do with this delicious ziti. We're going to bake it. So give me 30 minutes. That's how long it's going to take. 350, and I'll see you back here, and you can see the finished product. This house smells fabulous. Oh my goodness. This looks delicious. Bubbling. Oh my gosh, doesn't that look good? Listen, I thought about this too. Today's my cousin Tom Pissaro's birthday, which we've not been with them in forever. Tom, happy birthday. We're having baked ziti for you. So hope you enjoy. And he is Italian, so there you go. But it was simple. Just had to have some prep work, get it done a little bit ahead, and it's delicious. This is just the way to start it. If you don't want sausage, ground beef, you can make it whatever you want. But anyway, this is what we're having for dinner tonight. I hope you'll try it, and I hope you enjoy it. And happy birthday, Tom Pissaro. He's 75. All right, have a great evening. We'll see you soon.